Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. So, let's see, it's about 45 degrees. It's actually a little warmer in here. When I opened the door it was like 48, and in the last couple of minutes it cooled down. It's about 3:40. It is the 10th of April, Friday, 7.4 degrees Celsius, and my old Energizer back here isn't completely charged. Just a few of the people I watch. I was watching the last video William Staten put up, and he's got some solar cells in the back of his house. Hopefully he shoots a video of and just discusses his whole solar gig there, including the panels. Back away and show us what they look like up on the roof. And just shows the whole bit. But he's talking about using his solar panels to run lights for 4 hours a day. They're fluorescent lights. I'm not sure how many watts of panels he has. Doesn't look like he has an outstanding amount of storage. I think he's got like 4 batteries worth at about 50 amps each. So amp hours each, 200 amp hours of storage. So, more than enough to run fluorescent lights for 4 hours. But what's interesting is he seems to be running a timer. And really the only way you run a timer, especially 110 volt timers, if you're running your inverter continuously. And to run your inverter continuously, inverters use a certain amount of power. And even if it's a low amount of power, it's using that power 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? If he's doing that. So I am curious about his solar installation, and hopefully he'll show it to us in a little bit more detail. Because it's actually pretty cool doing it that way. If you start figuring, you could buy at like the dollar store, they sell these little 3 LED flashlights for $1. Dollar Tree, I believe it is, and one could actually take those flashlights. They typically use 2 or 3 AA batteries, or 2 or 3 AAA batteries, or even the ones you get for free at Harbor Freight, right? They use 3 AAA batteries. So if you figure you get 3 AAA batteries are 4.5 volts. So let's say instead of 8 batteries, you go with 9 batteries. You set it up in series, so to speak, so it goes through all those lights. You wouldn't be burning much power on 12 volts. You can theoretically leave them on 12 hours a day or 24 hours a day, and just when the solar panel comes on and charges your lights. But just for security lights, they wouldn't cast a whole load of light, but strategically placed, if you put a half a dozen around the garage here, or even just 4, right? One over each door. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It would be something. One could do that with all low voltage wiring. Throw a fuse in there, of course. Or you could just say, hey, the 4 flashlights I got at Harbor Freight aren't worth anything, but you do want to be careful, because circuits cause fires, and fires burn down houses. So anyway, just a quick little few solar thoughts there. And once again, we got our free range kitty out here. You gonna kill something? She's standing on a little piece of shingle or siding or whatever, because she doesn't like getting her paws wet. Anyway, to something a little more interesting. Gas tanks. I have nothing but trouble with gas tanks. Gas tanks for 30-year-old bikes, right? Let's say 1985, 95, 05, 15. So typically these bikes are 30 years old. If you got one of the older ones, a 79 or something, it could be 35 years old. 36 years old, and this is typically what you find, right? The gas tank rotted out. And believe it or not, when it comes to storing gas tanks, this one isn't too bad. I mean, there's a good possibility you can kind of get this stuff off. I mean, it still looks pretty solid around the petcock. You could probably get a lot of this off, and I mean, it still says Honda on the sides. It's not stoved in too bad. I mean, there and there, but I mean, this with a little effort, of course, there. I don't know how well you guys could see in there. Right, there's some rust in there. There you go. So this tank, with some effort, you could probably bring it back. I saw a video where a guy was basically putting a shaft right through here, and then he was filling the gas tank with sand and gravel, dry, and he would tumble it. And the tumbling used a rotisserie, you know, for a turkey out on your barbecue grill, and just tumbling the sand and gravel, cleaned up the inside. Then he would braze up or solder up the outside, and he didn't use sealer in it, and he seemed to have pretty good luck. I've seen that one character. He was from overseas. He might have been from Russia or something. I couldn't understand what he was saying, but you could watch his videos and figure it out. This gas tank is worse, and you kind of figure that out when you have to use channel locks to get the top off. I mean, I don't know if it leaks, but man, that thing's a wreck, right? I'd rather play with that than this. But I also found something else that I thought was really interesting. This was an eBay deal, right? This is a $30 gas tank. And the interesting part is it's got the channel through the center. How does it fit? Well, you got to realize if you were actually going to use it on this bike, right, you'd clean up some of this crap, right? But I mean, assuming that you're just putting together a rat. But I mean, it goes on there. The channel is not too bad. One could theoretically, right, drill a hole, tap it, set up the height for down there, and even that back one, once again, depends where you need to place it. It comes with the valve, and once again, for $30, it's a nice deal. This is what it looks like on the X. So, not too bad, not bad at all. A lot of times when I'm trying to get these bikes running, what I'm after is a way of putting a gas tank on them that's portable, that I can move around, and this looks like it might well fit the bill. You know, set it up with some straps, or perhaps even, you know, a hose clamp. I don't know, could you? I mean, this is pretty close here, right? Back's nice and tight. So, it helps solve the gas tank problem from a practical sense point of view. Does it make the bike OEM and restorable, and you know, something that you're going to put on eBay and sell for $1,500 to $2,500? No, that ugly, crappy China plastic gas tank isn't going to do that. But what it will do, it'll take, you know, if you're trying to run gas through this thing, I mean, even if you put a couple of fuel filters on it, this gas tank is going to be pesty. It really is a shame, because it's from a physical point of view, it's in pretty nice shape. I don't know. I tend to save gas tanks for two reasons. I'm a crazy hoarder, which is one reason. And the other reason is I'm hoping for that amazing breakthrough where I watch that video or somebody comes up with something that makes restoring gas tanks easy, right, and successful. You know, I've tried the 3-part solution. It's made by various companies, but where you first kind of wash the gas tank out well and maybe shake around some gravel in it and all that kind of crap. Then you put the etch in it. It's a solution that supposedly etches the metal and gets it prepared to accept whatever you're going to do. And then lastly, you pour in material. Sometimes you pour this stuff in and swish it all around and pour the remainder out. That's basically the story. And I think it comes in 2 different versions. One of it's like an epoxy version where you mix a catalyst in with it before you pour it in there, and you swish it around. That has a tendency to get like the stuff I used had a tendency to get ceramic-y, and then for whatever reason it flaked off, and those flakes ended up causing me more trouble than anything else. The valves got clogged. The second stuff I used was more of the polymer. It's almost like a POR 15 type stuff, urea, whatever it's called, urea polymer. I don't know. Somebody will correct me, I'm sure, in the comments. That stuff I've used, and it never hardened really. It was sticky. It made the gas caps hard to take on and off. You know, you couldn't like clean it off, but it like stayed sticky forever. So I would have liked it to get, plastic hard maybe. It never did. It just kind of... So maybe you guys are better at using that stuff than I have. I haven't used it in years now, so maybe it's also improved as time has passed. I'm going to have you guys let me know if you found a better solution. Anyway, here's the guy that those gas tanks came from. Wu Wen. Anyway, eBay, $30, $29.95. You can also buy them from China. I did a search under plastic motorcycle gas tank. I think that was it. Or ATV gas tank. I did a few searches, but you'll see them. Not that hard to find. They might have even called them... They might have called it carbon fiber too. I don't know. But take a look on eBay. $30. If you order them from China, they're like $25.95 free postage. But the guy from China had a disclaimer on the bottom that it's up to the buyer to deal with all duties and all that kind of crap. So I'm thinking to myself, let's see, my gas tank's going to show up either in California or New York City. On a boat. It's going to come out of the container. It's going to be hung up in customs forever because they say I owe $3 in duty or tariff or whatever on it. So I said, you know what? Let me buy it from the American guy, even though it's from China, because he already dealt with these issues. And it showed up. I bought it Wednesday and it showed up today. So I bought it Wednesday and it showed up Friday. So he's got some kind of connection to get this stuff through the mail. Just the postage is almost worth the $30. So anyway, now this is 14 minutes long. I got to go. I was going to show you my hoard of gas tanks, but my poor friend 231 is probably already chomping on the bit. Folks, I want to thank you for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your head up. And remember to enjoy all your days. Go out and have some fun. Have some laughs. Enjoy your time. Bye now.